One of the most asked questions on the internet is, what time is it in New York, or London, or India, Brazil, Japan, California, and the list goes on. With a more and more connected and globalized world, it's more common that we need to communicate and interact with people in other time zones. But how do time zones work? How many time zones are there? Is it possible to estimate times based on geography or geometry? Is there a ground zero? Where does the day start? All these questions and more in this video. Time zones exist because the Earth is round. The time of day is established based on the Earth's position in relation to the Sun. Roughly half of the world is receiving sunlight. It is day on this side any time between sunrise and sunset. Wherever is receiving sunlight at a perpendicular angle, it is midday right now. On the opposite side of the Earth, where it's dark, it's night. Any time between sunset and sunrise. But the Earth is not static. It's constantly spinning around itself, counterclockwise. It takes 24 hours for it to complete a full rotation, or 1 day. That means that every hour the Earth has rotated 15 degrees. Let's say you're in Ireland, right here in the middle of the dark side, receiving no sunlight. It's midnight there right now, and the day has just started. As the Earth spins around itself, it's bringing Ireland closer to where the sun rays can reach, and sunrise happens. The day continues, and Ireland hits the peak of sunlight at noon or midday. The Earth continues to spin, and Ireland reaches the dark area again at sunset. Night begins and the day ends once it reaches the middle of the dark area again. The concept of a worldwide time zone system was first proposed by Canadian engineer and inventor Sir Sandford Fleming in 1878. He recommended that the world be divided into 24 time zones, each spaced 15 degrees of longitude apart. In 1884, the Greenwich meridian was chosen as the prime meridian of the world. That meant that this line, which crosses England, France, Spain, Algeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Togo, Ghana, and Antarctica, would be longitude 0 degree and represent the Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC. A time zone, the Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, was created around it, representing hour zero. All the other time zones were divided in two. The zones to the left of it were represented with negative numbers, and the time zones to the right were represented with positive numbers. Why was this line chosen as the middle if the Earth is round? Because at the time, 72% of the world's commerce used this Eurocentric version of the world map, which was perfected during the previous centuries at the age of navigation, protagonized by European nations. And that is the version of the map we still use today. Regardless, Sir Fleming's system worked perfectly, but on paper. In practice, it's a little more complicated. The world isn't made of 24 vertical political zones, but of many intricate shapes and sizes of independent nations and states. And so, not all countries adopted the system entirely. What is used today is somewhat of a variation of Sir Fleming's proposal. The time zones we use today look like this and can be found in the website Time and Date, likely the best time zone map on the web. It would indeed be impractical to split a city's time zone in two just because a longitude line crosses it vertically. For a variety of practical, historical and economical reasons, most countries have adopted and then adapted Fleming's system. For example, China chooses to have only one time zone at GMT plus 8, despite the fact that the vast Chinese territory stretches across 5 time zones. Another example, some countries in Europe like Spain and France, despite being exactly at GMT, chose to be in the same time zone as the bulk of Western Europe at GMT plus 1. At the time of this recording, both countries, like many countries in Europe, were following daylight saving time and are at GMT plus 2. Another example, Kiribati for instance, an island country in Micronesia and the first to see the beginning of a new day, is actually at GMT plus 14, despite being on the same longitude as Hawaii, which counts its time at GMT minus 10. Other nations like India adopted systems that change time zones by smaller increments, like 30 or 45 minutes. India's time zone is GMT plus 5:30. For that reason, instead of only 24 time zones, there are actually 38 time zones in the world. So the saying, "it's 5 o'clock somewhere," isn't entirely correct. It's only formally correct for a minute about 38 times each day, but incorrect for at least 23 hours and 22 minutes each day. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, you might also like one of the suggestions we've picked for you. Also, subscribe for more. We upload a new video every week discussing some of the most asked questions on and offline. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave it in the comments. It might become our next video. See you next time.